Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 294. We have a wonderful guest for you today, so make sure you click to subscribe right now and ensure you never miss a journey. I post 1 to 2 episodes each week and each guest has a fascinating story to tell. Today we have Ashwin Jacob, a living statement to making something from nothing. He moved across the country with nothing but a dream, hard work, and persistence. Hello, Ashwin.
Hey, how are you today? Thank you for having me.
I'm fine, thank you, and thank you for coming. My audience are excited to hear your story, but just start by telling us one thing we are going to learn from you today that will help us on our journey to success.
So the thing I really teach people is how to better connect, and that is in regards to human relationships. And I think that's the foundation of pretty much success in any industry that any person wants to go into.
So I can't wait to hear about that. Let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my audience a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your own online business?
Sure. Basically, what I've done throughout my life is I've worked in entertainment. I started off as somebody that wanted to be in film and TV, and I started off in the most reasonable way to get into entertainment, which was nightlife. So from nightlife, I leveraged connections that I met through that to get my first jobs in traditional entertainment. And from there, I ended up doing a lot of consulting work, working with the various celebrities, helping them figure out how to grow social media, as well as creating strategies around what is like cool for marketing. So leveraging social media, doing all sorts of cool creative, and it's been a beautiful journey.
Wow. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
Wow, that's the main thing, as long as you enjoyed the journey. Why do you do what you do?
I think I've always loved entertainment. So I think that's a big pursuit, but it's also the entertainment industry is one of the largest areas that people consume. So it gives you a lot of influence. It's not the highest paying industry in the world, but it is one of the most visible industries in the world.
Let's put him aside. How do you know you are successful?
I don't really view things in terms of success or failure. I view things in terms of that journey towards happiness. I think that's the main goal for me, is making sure that I'm happy with the work that I do each day.
But when you talk about happiness, someone who's there, they will be like, what is happiness?
Yeah. I mean, for me, happiness is being contentment with what you're doing. So a lot of times you can get addicted to, I need to make X amount of money, or I need to close X amount of deals each day. But at some point it comes down to, are you enjoying that process of doing it? What are you doing with this money? So it's really about purpose for me. So I think I live my life around having a better sense of purpose with what I'm doing every day, and being happy in the sense that I'm excited when I get out of bed, as opposed to I'm dreading getting out of bed. I'm counting my hours. I'm counting down until I hit this goal. I'm just going until I get too tired to go.
Tell us how to overcome adversity.
I think it's really just about perseverance. It's realizing that some things don't work out because you're not the perfect fit for every person. You're not going to be everybody's first choice. But someone eventually, if you keep shooting your shot, is going to give you a shot. And with that shot, you have to demonstrate that you're more than capable of what you say you can do.
Tell my audience about the magic moment, the day it suddenly all went right for you.
So I think the first time it felt like it was right was when I came out to Los Angeles for a Playboy Mansion party that I helped promote when I was 19 years old. And I think that was a really special moment for me, because I never thought I would make it even this far west to California. But it's a place that I've always dreamed about, and getting out here and being able to watch that happen and being a part of something that was done right, or something at that level of entertainment, was really, really cool. And those are people that I consider to be some of my best friends almost 12 years later.
Tell us how to build a personal brand from ground zero.
So I think personal brands, a lot of people think it's about positioning online. It's about the followers. It's impossible to go from 0 followers day one or 100, 200, 300 followers to hundreds of thousands in a matter of days, right? But what you can do is you can start leveraging the people that you do know. So building relationships, finding ways that you can help the people that are actually touching your life. And then you reach out to other people in the social media consultancy world that I am in, and we can help craft a narrative of success for your brand online. And then with that help, leverage some of the tools and the skills of our programs to push more traffic so that more people can discover your story. It's really about finding the right partners to drive accelerant, because it's much easier to get promotion from someone that's bigger than it is to get promotion from someone that's much smaller.
I know you are aware what is happening right now. People, some of them, they are losing their 9-to-5 jobs. What advice would you give them, those who want to move into online world?
What advice would I want to give? I think it's trial and error. Don't think that anyone is necessarily too much of an expert. Try out everything, give it a shot, see what works, and don't be afraid to try the same thing slightly differently the next time around. And be fluid, be open to changing what you want to do online.
Because some people, they think like, some of these companies, these big agencies, I have a small budget or have no budget. How can they really be visible in the noisy space of social media?
It's really just going after the people that you personally know, You have to start a business that you know people that would want to be a customer for, and getting those people that you personally know that would buy something to say positive things about the product or service that you're selling is the highest rate of conversion. The internet's an awesome tool to distribute your content to a larger audience, but ultimately it's about being able to find products and services that people would even want to consume.
As you mentioned, you are entertainment, you have friends who are big celebrities, and you have met entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs. But can anyone be an entrepreneur, or are some people more cut out for it than others?
So I think the view, in my opinion, is I think everyone has the same amount of potential. It's the wherewithal for uncertainty and uncomfort. So I think to be successful in entrepreneurship or to be successful in entertainment, it's your wherewithal for rejection. How much rejection can you tolerate? How much negative information about yourself, your ideas can you take? Because it's not a business for winners. It's a business for losers. It's people that, are comfortable losing most days in taking that win here and there, because the majority of times it is failure. So I think anyone can do it, but it just depends on your values and the way that you're able to process that rejection and grief.
What was your biggest obstacles that you had to overcome during your business or your early days in business?
I think race was one of the big ones, because I didn't look ethnically like what most people expected me to look like for the jobs that I've done. So I think it's changing people's perceptions of what I could do off of what I look like. So that was really hard, because race is integral to who you are as a human being, and having that be a point of conflict with what you want to do with your life is tough. So it's just really figuring out how to make your work stand out above all. So it's not telling people that they need to change the way they think. It's showing people the results that you can drive, so that when people think of what you do, you're the person they go to. So it's getting that barrier out of my own head as well as other people's heads by doing the work.
When you heard about it yourself and what you're doing, how did you overcome it?
If your whole life, everyone tells you you can't amount to anything, you have no shot of doing this, you cannot do this. If the worst case scenario is I'm going to lose, and that's what everyone expects of me, I'm not disappointing anyone by losing. I'm expected to lose. So why not just get it over with and go out there and lose? If that's the worst case, I've already accepted that's probably what's going to happen. So I didn't have that fear of failure. I didn't have that confidence lack that I was going to lose. I went into those situations expecting to lose a lot of times, but just still shooting my shot, trying, out of pure sense of hope. And it really became a process of, I knew I have to work 5 times harder to get half as much as the next person does for almost everything in my life. So I became tolerant of doing that extra work. I became that much better that I allowed myself not to really worry about the competition and just keep progressively investing into my skill set, investing into building my abilities up, and investing into spending more of my time and taking a smaller profit at the start of my career to out deliver and outshine all of my competition.
In your story, you mentioned that you worked in the 500 company Fortune. How did you get that job?
It was based on the previous campaigns I've done with my clients. Our clients are very large celebrities. We were doing really innovative social campaigns where we would integrate traditional celebrities onto social media platforms with influencers and do really good storytelling. So it really came down to the fact that I was very good at creating stories around the specific creators and celebrities I worked with. So one of our agencies ended up, getting a contract with this agency, and some of my talent started getting contracted. And we progressively scaled that out to work with some of the biggest brands out there.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
What have I learned? I have learned that you really just need to go after something that has a deeper meaning to you. Because if you're just going after a dollar amount, if you're just going out impressing other people, if you just want to go out there and buy an Audemars Piguet, or you want to drive around in a Lamborghini, you're going to be sad at the end of it. You have to have some purpose. So like for me, it's giving back to people that are like me, or people that rely to causes. So a lot of my businesses have some cause associated with it at some level. It doesn't have to be the overwhelming thing, but it's just, how do you make your impact? How do you give other people opportunities? How do you help other people? And I think that became the biggest piece.
What are you still doing the way you work that you just know you have to stop doing?
I think I need to start waking up earlier. I'm not as much of a morning person as I should be. So I need to kind of shift my schedule a little bit. I prefer to work later in the evening because a lot of my clients do prefer to work later. But there's more traditional brand clients that I can do business with a little bit earlier, which might be a little bit more productive to my morning. So it's just a personal preference. I think everyone's body is a little bit different, and it's just conditioning to change patterns.
If you could rerun the first year of your business, what would you definitely know to do?
I would know to be less harsh on myself about failure. But I would also know to take some breaks. I think I went a very, very long time without taking a break, which caused a lot of mental and physical exhaustion, as well as, taking time to take care of my own body, because I let my diet go towards eating whatever was easy and convenient for a while, a couple of years when I was first getting started. And I wish I would have stayed on a regimented, healthy diet, because the fuel you put into your body allows you to kind of better function. It's better health for your brain and your body.
Tell us the science of social relevance and the cool factor. What do you mean?
I think social relevance always becomes people want to see one trend and they want to do the exact same thing as that trend. Figuring out what a cool factor is, it's figuring out what can take that trend to that next level, or what is similar, and testing and experimenting with that. What I've done throughout my career is I've forecasted what is cool, found people before they were who they are now, and helped figure out how to socially engineer pushing that forward. So a lot of that involves coming up with what is true to that person. What is a true narrative to that person? How do we elaborate this story and connect to something that people are searching for, or engineer ways for people to share this content so that more and more people see it? So creating content that is easily shareable to other people.
What is the most dangerous belief an entrepreneur can have?
The most dangerous belief an entrepreneur can have is what they have today is what they're guaranteed to have tomorrow. What your business is today is not guaranteed. As many of us found out during coronavirus shutdowns, a lot of our businesses were drastically hit. So I think this comes down to how you treat other people, because if you treated other people like they were garbage when you were on top, a lot of people are not going to be sympathetic to your situation. But if you treated people well and you did right by others, you're going to be able to have a better support system and be able to pivot a lot easier than you would have if you were hurtful,
What did you have to do in your business during the pivot? What pivots did you have
A lot
to
of
do?
my business was focused on live entertainment. So I had to switch a lot more of my efforts into our social media growth and optimization campaigns, as well as being a creative. So really finding like strategy clients. It became like finding a whole different slew of clients, as well as launching into like, other opportunities. So like looking towards other opportunities that were interesting and that I could leverage the same skill set of hype awareness and the marketing of cool into traditional brands or into things that were recession proof as opposed to cool.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
I've given away lots of money. I lend money to friends, family, employees all the time. And I think it's also possessions, I think if I can help someone, I'm going to give them something. It doesn't matter if it like doesn't really majorly hurt me. I'm probably going to try and help the person out where I can. I'm starting to do less of that and put more barriers on like delaying like the amount of people I'm able to help personally, because at some point you do feel traumatized because like a lot of people don't come through or return the favor when you need a favor. But at the end of the day, it's really about doing what you can to be the best possible person that you are while you're here. We're not able to take any of this stuff when we go.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
I think the thing that has contributed to my success a lot is the fact that I have a great family that I can rely on for emotional support when things don't go right sometimes. And, good friends. I think good friendships really define a lot of life. Having a good grouping of people that you can go to for advice and explain what's going on and get honest answers to what you need to be doing.
What
grounds me is I like to take time for, meditation, just getting some fresh air, getting some exercise, moving around. I think that's honestly a big part of who I am in my life.
In your life, in your businesses, do you have a coach? Do you have a mentor yourself?
I don't really have a real mentor or a coach. I've kind of figured out a lot of things on my own. I look up to certain people like Sydney Korshak, a lot of like people that I've had informal relationships with. But I think my mentor is really just the journey of life and the people that come in and out of it. So there's a lot of people that have came in and out and provided a lot of value to me. So I wouldn't formalize it and say it's like a traditional mentorship experience, which is what I think a lot of people look for after they hear these interviews. But it's taking the people that you have in your life. It's not about finding this formalized mentor for a lot of you. It's about taking the people that you have in your life and learning what you can from them in the way that you can learn. So it's finding that opportunity where there isn't.
What is the most valuable thing the people who have passed through your life or within your journey that has told you?
I think the most valuable thing is that you only have one life. So you have to do what you can do to make yourself happy today. So like live each day like it's your last day. And I try and do that most days. And there's a lot of days. And today's one of them where I'm like, have I been living my life the way that I need to if today was my last day? And I haven't. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to change that, for the rest of the day. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to get out there and be a little bit more active. And I think that is a key aspect to life.
What is one thing no one knows about you?
I'm pretty much an open book. I share all of the positives and the negatives of my life on social media every day. So my whole life is out there.
Somebody who doesn't know, who have never heard it from you, who's here listening to
I think kindness defines you more than anything else. I don't think it's about the amount of success. It's not about the money. It's not about the cool toys that you have. It's about, your general level of kindness. I think that's what defines people.
What is the most important question to ask someone who has bought from you or who have worked with you?
I don't really know. Honestly, that's not really something that would come up in my life.
If I met your friend and I ask him, what do you think about Ashwin? What do you think they will tell me?
I think they're probably going to say that I've done a good job for them in the realm of what I did as a strategy consultant. But it varies. Like what I do for every client is so drastically different that it wouldn't really be uniform to what it is that I do.
Tell us about the modern entrepreneurship landscape for minorities. What do you mean about it?
It's just you got to work harder. I think that's it. I think a lot of times people rely on the fact that they want governments or society change. But the modern landscape is really built for you. If you want to succeed, you got to just try harder. You got to work harder. You got to be willing to take smaller clients. You got to be willing to do some of those gigs for no pay sometimes, to define and build a reputation for yourself, or have a resume of relevant experience. And I think that's the truth of where things come down from.
Tell us more about your business and who can join and how.
Sure. So my business is, I am doing a lot of social media growth consulting and strategy consulting. People can reach out to me through my website, ashwinjacob.com. I'm also very accessible on all social media that's listed on my website, ashwinjacob.com, but I'm primarily on Instagram at Ashwin Jacob, ASHWINJACOB. That's the same for my Twitter and my TikTok. Definitely feel free to reach out if you're interested in growing your personal brand online, or getting more views or converting more clients on social media advertising.
What type of
I work
clientele
with
do you work with?
celebrities, entrepreneurs, and businesses. So brands that are doing about 6 to 8 figures in business online.
Thank you for sharing. There will be more from Ishan in a moment. If you are listening to this on a podcasting platform and you are encouraged by Ishan's journey, please go to our website at onlinesuccessjourney.com. The site has a tons of audio clips from hundreds of successful entrepreneurs' guests' journey, all there to help you find the path for your own online success journey. The site offers exclusive members-only content, and you can join absolutely free and be part of this amazing online success community today. Check it out. That's onlinesuccessjourney.com. Now, Ishan, I would love for you to share more with my audience if you're up for it. Do you like to watch movies, or do you like to read books?
I've watched so many movies. I love it. I think movies really encapsulate periods of time. It's one of my happiest things that I can do.
Tell us, what is your favorite movie that has relevance to being an entrepreneur?
I loved the movie Scarface as a kid. It's the story of Tony Montana, how he comes to America and how he builds an empire from absolutely nothing. I think it's really just embracing that you are different, that you're going to operate in a different way, and speaking your own truth. And I think a lot of people have difficulty expressing their truth.
If your business was down to its last $100, how would you invest it?
$100. Honestly, I wouldn't spend the money. I would just figure out how to capitalize on the relationships that we've built. That's really the truth of my business. It's not, there wouldn't really be anything we could do with $100. It's not about the $100. It's about me as a person and what I'm able to leverage from the relationships I've built throughout my life.
What is the best business
How to
book
Win Friends
you
and
have
Influence
ever read?
People, I think, is the most relevant book, because every business and every industry comes down to people and how to better take care of the people.
What assurance have you got for my audience who are not quite there yet?
What assurance? Try. It's life. There's not anything too bad that's going to happen in most cases.
If you're going to keep a note to yourself in your pocket every day, what would be written on it?
Keep a note in my pocket. I don't know. I think it's gratitude. I have that on one of my chains. So I wear a necklace that is just a washer. There's no real value to it. It's really just a thing I wear that reminds me to be grateful each day. I think my next chapter is seeing how what I do translates to this new world. And just having fun, just really flowing with what the opportunities are in life, and being open towards where this next journey takes me.
Do you feel like you succeeded, or like you're
I feel like it's a journey. It's always a journey. I've had some levels of success. I've done some really cool things, but I think at the end of the day, it's really about accepting that we're all growing as people, and we're all evolving, and we all have to evolve each day.
Will you ever stop?
Not in the intro.
Remind us how we can
Connect with me on Instagram at Ashwin Jacob, or Twitter, ASHWINJACOB. And all of my social media links are on ashwinjacob.com, ASHWINJACOB.com.
Ashwin, it's been great to have you here to share your online success.
Pleasure to chat with you.
us.
I hope you have a beautiful day.
Thank you. That's a wrap. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Ashwin.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Patience and her guest and want you to know there are hundreds of episodes available at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Patience would like to thank you for listening to the podcast, and she has a free gift for you on her website, including an audio compilation of her guests' best tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. Additionally, there are special clips of over 250 episodes that have never aired on the podcast, and they're only available to members of the Online Success Journey. Check the website and click on Join Now to get free and instant access. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path, so make sure you're subscribed on your favorite platform to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review the podcast at iTunes and other sites. We appreciate your help and your willingness to share your journey. One last thing. If you're feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed on your own journey, Patience can help. Check out her course on clarity while you're at the website. Finding clarity is a great way to get back on the right path. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.